Sugar feeds almost all your critters that are bad for you. Okay? Am I ready to get started yet? I haven't even got started yet. 3.5 years ago, I was sick and dying slowly. The first thing I did was start using alkalized water. That alone got me off the Tagamet, but I had a long way to go. And then I stopped. I stopped writing. Didn't stop. That's. Oh my gosh, I love my coffee. That's where I left off a few months ago when I was attempting to. I felt so. That's the funny thing. I felt so good then. I was attempting to do it. Then I kind of had a spasm. I had an episode, and that's what led me to actually find these. It's kind of funny, you know. I always try to find the gift in every adversity. Every adversity carries with it the seed of a greater success. So I'm always looking for the silver lining in the cloud and so forth. You should try to do that too. I recommend it. Housekeeping. We're getting ready to get started. This is not an attempt to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. I am not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. I'm just a goofy guy who suffered through something like many others have suffered through. And through trial and error, I learned to halt and then reverse and ameliorate the symptoms of autoimmune and immunological syndromes. The doctors tried to tell me I had Crohn's. I had something very similar to Crohn's in appearance. It does appear, if you do your research, there's a train of thought. I'm not a doctor, right? But I read what doctors say. There are doctors out there that think that all of these are tied together. Things like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, the psoriasis, chronic fatigue syndrome, all the immunological and autoimmune responses of the body tend to go back to response to inflammation. There's an inflammatory response that's responsible for the condition of the body. So learning how to get your body to respond normally instead of abnormally, then things start to halt and correct themselves. Okay. So, part one. This is not an attempt to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or diseases. I'm going to start talking now about how to drink alkalized water. I said the first thing that I did to start correcting my issues was to drink the alkalized water. I didn't know that it was going to squeeze out a lot of the sugar. But by switching for a time to only water, I drink coffee too. I made coffee with the alkalized water. No, not supposed to. And I cheated and it still worked. That's how powerful this is, okay? And in just doing that step, I took distilled water. I got it here. Cool. I actually got some stuff. I took distilled water in jugs that I would get from the store. And this, knock everything out. This stuff is called Alkalized, but you can get it off the internet, other places, if you want to recommend where to get this. If you want to alkalize your water, I can teach you how to do this real simple. You take 10 drops to 8 ounces of something like this, or go get your own stuff and follow the directions on that, or you can spend a whole bunch of money buying alkalized water. Now, with my discount, I got the jugs of water pretty cheap, but like I said, it ended up costing a fair amount of money. I don't remember what these are, how much these cost. I think I was spending about $60 at least per month on my water then. So with this. So that was my thing. I was spending $60 a month, and then I was like, well, gosh, what if I bought a water filter that did the same thing, and it would pay for itself in less than a year. If I installed it and just used it. So that's what I did. That's what I did. So anyway. How to drink alkalized water. You consume 8 ounces at a time. Now, here's a note. If you're using a Kangen or another electrically ionized water, the ORP is going to begin decreasing immediately. That's if you watch when it first comes out of the machine, it has its highest ORP and it starts to go down. So if you want to get your greatest benefit, you want to consume it right away. I'm not so familiar with the machines, with the Kangen machine per se. It's just my research has shown that you can see when the guys do their demonstrations. I watched it on their videos. They'll throw the meter in there, and then you watch the ORP. It actually goes down, but I mean, it's awesome. Well, I'm not knocking the water. Don't get me. Kangen water was developed years and years ago as a medical water. Oh, okay. So why don't you recommend Kangen water? There are reasons. One of them is because the machines cost between $3,000 and $5,000. They do different things, and one of them is because of the reason that the ORP is so high, because it works for you so well. I can get the same benefit, and I don't have to worry about drinking it so fast. Again, there's differences. They're good for you. I'm not knocking Kangen water. Get off my back. Okay, got it. The goal is complete hydration. Our lives simply do not generally allow for proper and complete hydration, right? You have to understand, enhanced water in excess helps to kickstart your body's detox process anyway. So you'll only process so much water at a time. You want to hit 8 ounces. I think the first 4 ounces or so, if I understand correctly, is what it takes to just kind of get into your stomach, and your body can handle and process that. And you don't receive as much benefit from that because the stomach acid counteracts some of the alkalinity, so forth. I don't understand that. I don't care. I'm not a scientist and I'm not a doctor. You want to ask these guys, I can direct you to a website. You want to whatever. Okay. But the point is that the enhanced water in excess is what kickstarts your body's detox process. And here comes another note, and that's what I was saying earlier. Most detox programs are shams. Your liver, your kidney, your system's processes, your lymph system is designed to eliminate toxins from the body and cleanse you. And your body does that by itself. So I'll just be quiet. Okay. So number one, you want to drink at least 8 ounces at a time. If it's Kangen, you want to do it real fresh as soon as you pour it. If you use my filter, actually it's better to kind of let it sit. It actually absorbs energy in the structure. It's actually better for it to kind of sit there for a little while. You'll get even more benefit from it if it sits for, say, 30 minutes or even a couple of hours or a couple of days. So, okay. Now, so number one, 8 ounces or more at a time. Number two, avoid within 30 minutes of eating or 2 hours after eating. If you
drink enough during the day, you have no reason to drink while eating. It dilutes your stomach acid and it also dilutes your enzymes. Note, if you feel you need to drink while eating, it's a sure sign that you are dehydrated. Ask the doctors. I'm not going to go into a bunch of, I could probably find this where I researched it, but, I'm not here for disputes. You can believe me or not, guys. I'm not a fan of trolls. I'm not a fan of people, This is me. This is what I've learned. This is what works for me. I think if you tried it, it'll work for you. And see, otherwise your body will have to work harder to digest your food. This is why you avoid it, but this is why number 2, you avoid drinking it within 30 minutes of eating or 2 hours after eating, because otherwise your body will have to work harder to digest your food. And if you already have trouble digesting your food, this can cause a flare-up or other undesired systems. Note, if you have chronic acidosis and you're required to monitor your pH, this should actually help your body create much less acidic components and compounds and stuff. And so I don't understand chronic acidosis a whole lot, but my research says that drinking alkalized water in this manner and doing it this way, just changing the way you eat, regardless of whatever water you're using, actually, I think is what it said. It didn't matter what kind of water you drink. It's just you have to avoid this process, number 2 here, and it helps you create less acidic compounds. Okay. Number 3, drink 1/2 of your body weight as measured in pounds, but convert to ounces as a minimum per day. In other words, like I weigh about 130 pounds, give or take, so I drink 65 ounces of water daily. I actually drink about 80, probably, maybe more. Sometimes I drink 100. These are close to 20 ounces. I'm actually getting thirsty. I've been talking to you guys for a while. I drink 4 of those a day at least. So if you're 130 pounds, you should get 65 ounces. And again, remember to try to do it in 8-ounce shots. That was just bad right there, but I just needed a sip so I could talk to you guys. Okay.